Let's make some plant-based mini crustless quiches. Welcome back to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we are going to make these cute little mini crustless quiches using collard greens, because those are in season right now, and it's so important to eat in season. And collard greens are loaded with vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and vitamin C. So we're just gonna pack it in there. But first we're gonna start with our onions. This is one large onion that we're just gonna saute a little bit. No oil. I've got a little container of water here, just while they're cooking. If you want to deglaze the pot or keep them from sticking, you just put a little bit of water in there and it comes free right away. So we're going to saute these for a few minutes before we add our other ingredients. Okay, so now we're going to add our collard greens, and this is 2 cups of finely chopped collard greens. You want to chop them pretty small because they're going in our little muffin tins. So it's, they're a small container, so you don't want big pieces of anything. As well as our potatoes, I got them in little small chunks. This is 1 russet potato peeled. We're just going to get that in there. And as those potatoes cook, that starch is going to come out, and this is going to stick just a little bit, so keep your water on hand just to keep that from sticking. I'm going to get this cooking for a little bit. I'm going to put the lid on. It just helps to soften that the collards up a little bit. So we're going to cook this for about 5 minutes or so. Okay, so this is about how far you want your collards and potatoes cooked. So I'm just going to put the lid back on these, set them aside, and then we're going to move on to the stuff that's going in the blender. Okay, so next onto the eggy mixture that's going to hold all of those vegetables together. So this is my egg, or my scrambled egg recipe, with just a couple things added to it. And all of our pantry ingredients today are from our partner Essential Organics, who carry over 600 organic products. And if you use the code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout, you'll get 10% off of your order. So we're gonna get to mixing here. This is 3/4 of a cup of moong dal, which is essentially like a yellow split pea, or you can actually use yellow split peas. And these have been soaking for at least 6 hours. It's really better to soak them overnight, but at least 6 hours. So these have already been soaked, and I poured the liquid off. So we're going to put these into our blender. And then I've got 1 tablespoon of a low sodium tamari, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And that's kind of going to give you a little bit of that fluffiness like eggs have. Then I've got 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric and 1/2 teaspoon of black salt. This black salt is what's going to give you the eggy flavor, but you can omit that if you don't like that kind of salt. Then we've got 1/3 of a cup of soy milk, and this is an unsweetened soy milk because you don't really want the quiches to be sweet. And then 1/3 of a cup of aquafaba, which is the liquid from a can of chickpeas. Now we're just going to blend this together until it's really smooth. Okay, so there's our egg mixture. All right, I'm going to grab my other ingredients and a bowl, and I'll show you how to get it all together. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of free printable recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook series, are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting membership community. So if you love our recipes, I invite you to join us on our mission to make plant-based cooking easy, and follow the link in the description to become a supporting member today. There's no denying the plant-based diet is a nutrient powerhouse, but did you know there are a handful of hard-to-get nutrients even well-crafted diets are often lacking?
The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why my daily health routine includes Complement Essential. Complement Essential contains the 8 critical nutrients lacking from most plant-based diets in dosages optimized specifically for us. As a special discount for our viewers, just use code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout to save 15% off of your order.
Okay, so to put this all together, you want to have your oven preheated to 350 degrees, and you're going to need a muffin tin. This is a silicone muffin tin, so I don't need to have any kind of papers in it. But if you're using a metal one, you want to have the little muffin papers in there. All right, I already put my collard and potato mixture in the bowl. I'm going to pour my egg mixture in there. And then I also have 1 cup of cherry tomatoes that I diced into quarters, and 1 teaspoon of dill weed. And then we're going to do a generous amount of cracked pepper because I put cracked pepper in everything. I love pepper. All right, then we're just going to stir this together. Get this out of here. And already it's just such a vibrant color with the collard greens and those little cherry tomatoes, and then the yellow from that eggy mixture. All right, so once you get that mixed together, we're just going to spoon it into our muffin tin here, and I'm going to grab a smaller spoon because it's easier to get it in there with that. All right, small spoon. Okay, so you're going to want to fill your cups all the way to the top. And they are going to puff up just slightly, but you want to get them right to the top. Okay, I'm going to finish filling these up, and then we're going to put them in the oven for 35 minutes. Okay, they're out of the oven if you want to come in for a closer look. So I'm just going to let these cool for a bit, and then I'll meet you at the table for a taste. Okay guys, here we go. Let's go in for a taste. I've got a little bit of a spicy mustard here because that's kind of how I like to eat it, or with a little bit of a hot sauce. That would be really delicious too. Dip it in there. These would be absolutely perfect for a light breakfast or even to pack in your lunch for work. Just great. And they freeze wonderfully too. So come on back next week for another great recipe.